You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
Hello.
Thanks are up.
Check.
Yeah, got a little reverb or something happening there. Can I get a little reverb? Probably. Hey guys, oh there we are. I didn't see myself there for a minute. Hey, and you got Mr. Sean here somewhere. There he is. There he is. Hey guys, I'm T-Bone, and that's
Christy.
And that other cat over there that's Minister Sean, and we're here in the recovery room. It is Tuesday, the 11th of August. Look how quickly a third of it is gone. You look up and August will be gone, and you know the thing that you were all bent out of shape about today will be past, and you'll have something else that you get bent out of shape about because you're just the kind of person that gets bent out of shape about stuff.
Oh, but learn how to get past it.
Yeah.
I've had a rough week, but my coping skills still are lacking, but I'm working on them.
Well, at least you got your name on the screen now. I mean, that's
Oh, I'm this much closer to my own box, baby. Look at this.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah, well, you got to get into the, what's happening now. Boxes, baby. First they said think outside the box, and then they put you in the box. I don't know. Everything is a box. Anyway, so how's your day there, Mr. Sean?
It went well. As most of you guys out there know, that did the food drive today and passed out a bunch of the food, and I took it to my friend who's got cancer all riddled throughout his body, and he was just in tears of gratitude for me going there dropping off that food for him. And like I mentioned the other day, it's not just the kind act of one person. It takes many people involved to do that. So I thanked him for giving me the opportunity to help him out.
Yeah, isn't that something?
and he's crying. He's like, "No, you help me!"
That's as we're putting boxes out, and people are like, "Thank you." Instead of saying, "You're welcome," I want to say, "Thank you." I'm happy you were here.
God bless. You get the good feeling of giving, but you know that it comes from a source that again is holding all of that whole scenario that you just talked about, holding all that together. And I don't know what you guys will call it. Most people call it God, but some people don't believe in God, so I don't trample on people's beliefs. But there's something very interesting that holds all that together. And I'd like to call it God. If you've got a problem with that word, let's just give it an acronym, because acronyms are in. G-O-D, good orderly direction. That's what we like to call it. Good orderly direction, G-O-D, because that's all it really is. God, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't know why I'm off on a God tangent, but why not? God is, as far as I'm concerned, the creator of all of this, and it's given us this just free reign to just go and live it magnificently or screw it completely up. And then come back and do it magnificently, and then maybe screw it up again. Speaking for myself, I've been up and down so many times in this life. It's just amazing. And, you know, finally I'm feeling like I'm up because I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with the skin I'm in, the person that I am. And so, everybody said, well, why would God let that happen? Because that's just what happens.
What did you, you must have been thinking about this for a minute, because yesterday you came in the house talking about batteries and
Polarities.
Polarities.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So it's literally been obviously on your mind. You said you have the good or the bad, the evil or the good.
Yeah. I mean, that's how a battery works, right? It's got polarities. It doesn't work if you don't have both of those polarities. And in this life, it's proven, it's physics. There's action and reaction. I mean, that's the only way that this thing works. So that's the way it works in this computer. That's the way it works with that little.
I didn't bring my charger piece. My computer won't work. I'm sorry.
Wasn't I talking?
Yeah, you were.
You've been missing or been gone for a while or something? You don't know the protocol?
I've been sick all week.
Anyway, the same energy that little plant, that little weed that's growing out of the crack in the ground, that same energy that creates an egg, all of that is the same energy, and it's physics, and it's the way it works. We can't change that. The thing that we can change is how we deal with it all. And Don, this is a good look. I like it. Don's been playing with the machine. Meh.
Whoa, hey. That's the other show there, guys.
Yeah.
That's why
that
Sean
may be
doesn't
way
come
too much
anymore.
information. And so this is not, the thing is that we as human beings, we tend to take this thing and complicate it so. When the fact of the matter is, what we are is we have this shrine, this temple, this great, awesome, ridiculous mechanism that has been created, and God knows, I know some people that know they're smart, but let me see you be smart enough to create this thing. Okay, so if nothing else can humble your whatever so intellectually smart butt, let me see you make a body. Can't do it, can you?
Not by myself.
With some help. True. So this is why we need a camera for you. This is.
Yeah, I thought you were going like with the Frankenstein thing, like take this one's legs and
It's
this one's
alive.
But no, you meant something different. So.
Is alive. Yeah, and so, and then there's an energy that holds it up, and that's our thoughts and our soul and our inner being, and that thing is just always seeking, it's always searching, and until you get to that point that you find yourself, you find your authentic self, you find that person that you're supposed to be, you're going to be continuously seeking, and as you're continuously seeking, there's always this need for more and more and more, and so it creates this very stressful situation that we do for ourselves. So the guru said that stress is our intellect working against us.
Definitely, I believe that all the way.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Because if you lay there for long enough and you work on putting that out of your intellect, you can calm and reverse those
Yes.
thoughts and feelings.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from people that have some chemical imbalances. I think we all do. Some have them more so than others, and I don't want to take, certainly mental health is an issue, and it's one that I'm really wanting to be instrumental in. But I think we already are, because as far as I'm concerned, hunger is the number one thing. Even if you're crazy, you still get hungry.
Well, in all of it, it just matters whether it's mental illness or it's just human life. You just deal with it on a different level. So you just kind of need either different attention on what level. Or
Yeah.
you can fight it and live with it on different levels. And some don't do so good.
Well, I
some
got to
can.
tell you, all your well wishes turned out really, really good, because, she wasn't so good yesterday and today. She was like, I was like, this is like Jekyll and Hyde here. It's crazy. It's like you couldn't move yesterday and today you're bouncing off the walls. It's like, okay, those people prayed for you and it worked. Anyway, in
Well,
case
thank
you
you.
guys
I
can't
don't know
see
what
it,
bouncing off the walls is, but
Bing, bing, bing.
Thank you all.
There is video now.
Yeah, but anyway, can we go to camera 2, please? In case you guys, I got to turn this way. I want you guys to join me in the hug life.
I need one.
Hug life, baby.
Oh,
Hug
how do you
life.
get it like that? You see that,
No.
Sean?
Hug life. Forget the thug life. We're gonna hug life. See, because the world needs a whole lot more hugs, man. Whole lot more love. I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it needs a a whole rethinking of this whole concept of being family. I mean, family should be that thing that you learn this concept of love, and then you're able to pass it on to other people. And so we were also talking about being the one to break the chain, because like even behaviors like people not being able to show love or whatever, or learn things. If you didn't grow up with people in your house saying I love you or whatever, it's a foreign thing to you, you know.
It can kind of go one way or the other. You either pass that along to where you continue that, or like, I didn't quite, but there wasn't a known word in my house, and now like my kids, that is a shared word between my kids and me constantly. And when I hear other people, I love that, like, just, I mean, it just feels good.
Well, because you're living in the hug life. That's all.
Now, you also can't just like randomly say be at the grocery store and see someone go, I'm gonna go give that girl a hug, because you're gonna get slapped. You know.
I'm so taking him to the grocery store when we leave here.
That's what I do.
No, I think she meant me. Like, watch this.
Boom.
No, baby, never do that to
So,
you.
guys, ladies, I'm hoping that you guys are feel like I felt when Barack was nominated for the presidency. You got Kamala Harris is now Joe Biden's vice presidential running mate, and so you got a black female that is in the position of a historical position, and so does that bother you? And if it does, why? And or, are you excited about it or whatever? Whatever it is historic, and it's a milestone for women, and so.
Well, it'd be awesome if she was, but Biden's a freaking fruitcake.
Yeah, he's got help now.
Yeah, so.
Well, the craziest part about that is, having said that, this is what I think all day, every day. It's like, God damn, we got to vote for one fruitcake or another. Which fruitcake is worse?
Hey, well, yeah, we know.
Two old fruitcakes is what we got. But at least now we got like a 55-year-old young person that if either one of them go, at least she's a little younger.
I knew that
I don't know, when you start smelling little kids' hair and stuff like that, try to kiss them on the cheek.
Well,
Little
Trump was
kids
grabbing them by the hoo-ah, You got Trump supporters got amnesia to everything he's done. I have it too, because I really don't give a crap. But I would, I think, yes, you can just grab them by the the lower area. What did he call it? The cat hairs. Oh no, that is the other show.
That's definitely the other girl.
he's been talking to Sean.
Yeah, you guys have been hanging out. Anyway, a lot going on in the world, guys, and it's a lot of good stuff, and I want you guys to understand that that's what's going to continue to happen. We're going into a period of intense good. We're going into a period of intense awakening, a period when if you're on top of your game, you're gonna have the opportunity to do some really great things with your life. They're going to be available. I mean, I can tell you right now, I know people that are better off right now financially during Corona than they were when they were working their butts off every day. That's one of the first signs that things are turning around. Now, you've got to see what it's like to make that money, so now you got to kind of really up your game or whatever. But it's getting ready to be like, all right, this is cool. I mean, especially once we figure out Corona, because I ain't figured it out yet. One day you're positive, one day negative. Again, I mean, it's just so much. And one day you're going to work, and then one day you're saying, it's so much that as soon as we figure that out for ourselves, because I think that's what we have to do. We have to become responsible human beings and treat the mask properly, treat your distancing properly, do whatever it takes to get this thing under control. I mean, that just makes sense to me. I don't think that's political or anything. That just makes sense.
I mean, and that's only one thing that we really have going on now.
Yeah.
With all the riots and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
The podcast I watched where about 70, maybe 100 people, they bum rushed Sam's Club, and they're running out of there at Sam's Club with everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. It's just somebody just, well, I'm going to go steal. One guy ran out with some water. What, your garden hose doesn't freaking work? You got to go steal water?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Miami when the riots happened, and you're looting, you got shot. The end of story. I don't know how they're going to put a stop to that.
Yeah, well, I think the way to put a stop to it is to make sure that everybody's got a little chicken in the oven. You know what I mean? Make sure that everybody's got a TV. I mean, I don't know. I know right now, every time I say that, the word socialism pops. You should have it pop up on the screen. Socialism. But when you have a social situation, I think you have to deal with from a social perspective. We've got to fix our coming. When we're giving people this food, it reminds me that, man, if I wish I had 1,000 more boxes or whatever, because it reminds me that nobody should be hungry in a country like this.
That's, if I may say, that's what was on just my head right now was going. Recently, the outcome has become wonderful, but it just shows you how many people are in need. And I know, like, today we cleared out the boxes we had prior to probably the ones that were coming from the other either sober livings or the homeless. And then my point was I've realized in these last few weeks being out here, the homeless population has increased from what I've seen, or maybe they're just passing through, and it hurt. It sucks, and I'm grateful that we can do what we're doing right now, and that is an awesome feeling. But yes, build it and keep working on the sober living and getting these people off the streets and the overdoses down. And
yeah, there's much to be done.
And then like it was like looking at the ones like on the street, homeless, looking at them and then seeing them doing drug deals and knowing that these are the substances that people are using and doing. And you wonder why why we're here.
You sure don't have a bunch of chemists selling this stuff.
No, they can't afford to probably buy the dollar store products right now to try to make this crap. I mean, it's I saw some stuff the other day and I'm going, wow, like, ugh, if I could check everybody into rehab, I'd start gathering. It's like herding cats or something. It was scary.
And you gotta be thankful.
And I'm a garbage head, and I'm looking at this going, this scared the crap out of me, going, oh my God, like if I could do something to help you guys, like.
Yeah. Well, what we can do is let you know, first of all, that we love you. You know, and that day when you decide that you know you're ready to love yourself, that's gonna be a life-changing day, you know, because you know one decision can change the whole direction of your life, and that's just reality, you know. And then when you get a nice little taste of what the good life is all about, you can see it on these before and after. I think I'll go and try to find some of those before and after pictures, because you can see it in the before and after. You can see death at the door, and then you can see that life, that redemption, that you know, that vibe. They got their groove
They
back.
one decision
what I
here
mean?
or one decision here.
Yeah,
That's all it takes.
Yeah, and it's so worth it, guys. Once you get it, you're not gonna want to be without it. I mean, it's just becomes like your way of life, and you know, and then again, you want it for everybody else. In fact, my friend KCB. So, could you take that off, please?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you I was moving.
go ahead.
My friend KCB, I've done four of his music videos, and he did one called "Can't Hold Me Down," and I'm gonna go ahead and show that one. And it says the message is that you can't hold me down, and that's what I want you guys that are out there that are actively in the struggle. I want you to get that in your head. You know, you can come back. You can be that phoenix rising up out of the ashes. You can be your authentic self, get your stuff back. And so KCB, I directed this video for him, and here we go.
My word was freedom.
Can't hold me, can't hold me, can't hold me down, no. Can't hold me, you can't hold me down.
Whoa, you wanted me to slow down? Don't think so, it's time to move out. Give me a new plan, a quick hit for nothing just to get down. Somewhere around, I do anything to get mounds and sounds. Put it in a vocal, play it all loud. Hear the drowns in my voice that I hail. A night owl, always was and always will be. Put in front of me like frisbee, kicking it up like I should and still fiend.
Can't hold me, can't hold me, can't hold me down, no. Can't hold me, you can't hold me down.
But thank God now I got nothing but love to bring. One thing will always stay the same. I string these beats, don't quite feel them, but I drop them to the knees. Hold its cleft up by his head and twist his feet. Got the right sound, the right scene. You best believe, no you can't hold me. You definitely can't hold me down. You wanted it, so they got my back running these sounds. Not cocky, just confident. Going off on a rocket bend, a rocket hands. I told you I could do this. Soon you're gonna list my tunes. You're gonna be mocking him, mocking him.
Can't hold me, can't hold me, can't hold me down, no. Can't hold me, you can't hold me down.
Speaking every colonist in parliament, we kick tunes. They say you's dumb, and then I'd say that's a compliment. For a living, I used to stack condiments. Now we rockin' it, rockin' it. Used to clean toilets, now I feel so joyous. Go to work with a smile on my face, look like I got employment. Done with these poisons, now I sit here rejoicing. Making better choices, making better noises.
Can't hold me, can't hold me, can't hold me down, no. Can't hold me, you can't hold me down.
Every second I envision the minute when I quit this. In my own dimension, I'm an electrolytion is the wind of my mind is racing and spinning. Not a gimmick, that's when I flip this. That's when I rip this. That's when I end this.
Yeah, that's
when
my
you
boy
end this.
KCB with the song "Can't Hold Me Down." That's the lovely and talented Chantel Norman on that's doing the background, doing the "Can't Hold Me Down," you know, I guess KCB don't mind if I just, give a little history, because the reality is that I met KCB, and he was recovering, and he had this desire to make some music, and we went into the studio and I recorded a song with him, and then he had some stuff, and I did this video, and I've done 4 of his videos since then, and on YouTube they have over 400,000 hits, some crazy number like that, which is awesome. But he put his head down. He decided to pull himself up and follow his dreams, and now he's toured around the United States, and he's streamed a million times on like Pandora and you know, all those streaming sites, and so he's taken and turned his life around, and so that's what is possible. You know, and because, you know, we're fierce, us addicts. We're fierce, man. I mean, we really are. The things that we have done to get our fix,
Fight in the wrong
you
direction?
know, and, I mean, that's fierce. And so if you just take that, and that's, well, again, what I was saying about KCB, if you take that same energy and channel it into your life getting better, not only does your life get better, but the lives of the people around you start becoming better. I mean, you know, I met KCB's mother, and God knows, I mean, I'm on a song with him called Mom, I'm Sorry. It's a song that he's apologizing for all the stuff they did, to going to jail and selling the drugs and this and getting high and all the stuff. You know what I mean?
There's been a lot to let
And it's a
go of.
lot, you know. And now, every time I see her and her post or whatever the case might be, you can almost feel and just hear the peace that she has now, that her son is got his life together. And so that's all we want for you guys. I mean, it's nothing more, nothing less.
You
And
just
you
process
know,
it for yourself. I mean, if you can't come out and show someone if you processed it, process it in your own being, and that's all you need. It's amazing. Takes a minute. It's amazing. And Glenn has 8 months
Good,
today.
great, Glenn.
Congrats.
8 months.
Congrats.
Glenn's another one of those ones. I
He's-
mean, you know, I'm gonna throw out there because, you know, we've been hanging with each other and supporting each other for a while now, and he's one of our recovery room family members. And I know I saw Glenn in his struggle, and that back in some 8 months ago and prior to that, and it was, and now I see him, and you know, he's on the right path, and you know, and he's getting his life in order, and he's doing those things that are necessary. You know, it's funny when you start doing what's necessary and it's feeling good, you want to do some more of that.
It's weird once you actually realize that then you enjoy that. Or it's okay without what you thought was that.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing good, a friend of mine, Amy, just joined, and she's a nurse up in the Panhandle, and she's, you know, dedicated all of her time to helping people that are sick with the coronavirus and everything else. And I've been chatting with her a little bit about her day-to-day stuff, and it's tough out there, you know, being on the front line, and the hospitals are all full, and they're needing more masks, or needing this, or needing that. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all the first responders out there that are putting their lives on the line for all of us.
Yeah.
Because it was taken for granted for too long, you know. If you saw a house on fire, oh, sure, the fire department's going to be here.
Yeah.
What happens if there's no fire department, or there is no police? You know, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
just think
you
they're-
know, you
they're-
guys have been called essential. You got a new title, but you've always been essential to me. You know, I was an EMT myself, and I know I still have some of the post-traumatic stress from some of the things that I saw. You know what I mean? That you just got to kind of shut down. And interestingly enough, I got out of the profession with something that wasn't even as traumatic as some of the wrecks and stuff I saw. I walked into a place that was a printing press, and the guy, the hand has gotten pulled into the printing press, and you just know that you're supposed to leave your hand there and turn the machine off, but the instinct has you pull your hand back. And so when I arrived there on the scene, it was just this hand sitting there that was doing this, and you can see all the muscles and the tendons and all that stuff, and I was like, ugh.
Disclaimer, but on that note, was that of a coping mechanism
Which
there
thing?
you had there? They're saying, so your automatic reaction, which instead of leaving to
You
whatever,
leave your
as you
hand in there,
pull,
turn the
so
machine
I
off.
figured you had a lesson to, I was asking what that was.
What lesson did I get?
Or that they should,
They
what
should
is that
have-
knee-jerk reaction
yeah,
that you're not supposed to
exactly.
react like that?
Well,
You're supposed, what is your coping
good
skills
point.
at that moment?
That's a
is
good point,
what I thought
you
you
know.
were going,
That's a good point.
were you,
No,
you
I mean,
sit still or?
yeah, no, and
you-
that is really well, my point was that what took me out of the game, but yes, the lesson there for me and for him is that, you know, reaction, knee-jerk reactions are
It'll
not.
get you in trouble.
Will get you in trouble. The same thing
Triggers.
with triggers.
It's me, and we know there are certain things you just cannot, you have to learn not to do. And I guess obviously you don't move your hand. Don't put it on a hot stove. Don't stick it in the press. Don't pick up your drug of choice.
Don't even hang around the people that have your drug of choice, or were the people that you did your drug of choice with.
Do some writing, do some thinking, maybe just, because it takes more than just not that. You've got to work on what's up here. You can avoid everything, but you will mentally relapse before you ever possibly expose yourself to someone that could have you relapse. You've got to work on it up there. It's a project. You've got to work on it hard.
Yeah, and constantly.
Every day. It doesn't, and even actually, and with you, Glenn, I had another one of my newbies, so she had 90 days today.
90
90
days,
days.
baby.
And,
Yeah,
So-
that's really, really special.
A day one is a day one, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
work on and bouncing this Nubians, coming out this time, one time,
Yeah.
time one.
Well, we don't really consider ourselves, and I'll use the negative term for it, as bean counters. You know what I mean?
No.
Because every day is a blessing, and when but you can get 15 years, and you go back out. You know what I mean? And it's all for naught.
That
You
one
know?
that one drink could be drink one, it could be the drink that got you done. And the days, whether it, happens here, it happens there.
I'm trying to do something here. I guess that's how I wanted to do that. Yeah. No ifs, ands about it. There are days when it's tougher than others too.
There was recently, this last week, that I was out. My kind of thoughts or whatever as far as subject was, what actually is like your sickness or what takes you down? Or how do you count and when can you actually come out of that?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
I was going through my phone the other day, and I saw some pictures of when I was first able to, be off my walker, out of my wheelchair, and walking again. And the pictures, it's weird, like it's just a picture of somebody walking. No, even the picture captured, I looked like a duck trying to walk out of water, just like you could tell my balance was even off from the still pictures and stuff. And it's just, it's similar to someone's addiction. I just took me getting better one day at a time. And you just got to take one day. Don't think about next week. Don't think about if you're going to use next week. Just go one day at a time. One day, the next thing you know, you got some time under your belt, and then you're going to look back and go, wow, what was I thinking?
And
Hence this quote. Imagine how incredible you'd be 1 year from now if you stopped fantasizing about a better life and actively started building one.
I was gonna say, and as far as Sean's mission and how much he has grown and made it through this, he has done this now, coming out soberly and clean, without meds or anything else, just determination. And I watched his faith grow, and it's been on the whole journey. But he's done it. I mean, he's done it.
No
He's
pain
doing-
pills.
Yeah, no
No.
pain pills. But, also, I've been meaning to share this picture. Maybe we'll share it with the recovery room, because there was a time, it was right around this time last year, where actually both Sean and Christy were sick at the same time.
Ooh, not
and there's a picture of the two of them together. And if you see the two of them in that picture, and you see the two of them now, this will probably be your best before and after you're going to ever see
Wow.
in your life, because...
I haven't seen this picture or that I
No,
remember, but
you're okay in it. I mean, you
you were sick.
You were
And
sick in a
she
chair.
she was sick in another way, and but it's there. But and so the thing is though, that was last year this time. Now look at these guys. I was gonna say that about the "Can't Hold Me Down" thing. That video. I mean, Sean is a real true example of that. I mean, because this time last year he wasn't even able to walk, wasn't able to do anything. And this year, I mean, is out. I mean, just got back from a trip. You know, he drove himself. Like I can imagine him getting in the car, let alone driving, just a little while ago. And so, guys, you don't know what you don't know. But if you just keep moving forward, straight, whichever way you want to call it, things can change for you. Things can get better. You know, his sister saw him and said, "Wow," she was shocked at how good he looked, considering what he's been through. So this is stuff. I mean, I tell you every day, you're sitting here and you've had the chance to watch Christy do a transformation. You've seen recovery into wellness into right before your eyes, and then you have with Sean as well.
And still working on it.
And still working on it. And they're
It's
here
done.
with you.
We're
Here with you to work
we're in
on
a
it
process
together.
here, guys.
You guys can work on it together. That's why she's created this whole Nubian thing.
Yeah.
It's like new people. New people like need a support group. Some people don't like to go to meetings, but they still need support. And that's the one thing you need. You need some accountability people in your life. You need some people that you don't want to disappoint, because maybe that's more important than how you feel about yourself coming out of the box. You know what I mean?
Or it takes meeting the right people to understand that you no longer have to worry about disappointing people. And that's a hard thing to overcome, to openly actually get to that point of healing.
Yes.
And that's a process.
I totally 100% agree.
And that's what I've learned, and maybe that's some of my comfort, and sometimes wherever you don't have that trust and can go sit in meetings all the time. You have to find that, and that's what I'm kind of hoping to create. And why when I say own your shit, because everything's real, then you got to start from what's actually true to actually heal.
speaking of
My
meetings,
beliefs.
right before the show, I'd gotten a message that from somebody I know. They're like, "Oh, I graduated my AA class, and I don't have to go to meetings anymore." They wanted to go and celebrate. I'm like, no,
You missed the
you
whole
don't
point.
get it. You don't get it at all.
Congratulations. Fall
Congratulations, you're still a freaking alcoholic. Yeah. Hello.
There is no graduation. No, they've been bamboozled. There is no graduation. You're like a lifetime student. You know some of those, right? People go to college, like their whole life. That's who you are.
Well, it's like when you're sitting in a meeting or rehab for, a year here, maybe a couple years here, and you see the same people, and maybe you're there just for a specific, but they've been there like all along, and they're like, look, I got my parenting certificate, or oh, I got whatever, and I'm like, but you're here every year, which I can't talk, because obviously I was there every year too, but
When I was up in Gainesville last weekend, I saw a friend of mine, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you, since 1996 when I moved away from Gainesville. I said, oh, well, nope, I'm still in college. I'm like, since 98? Okay, I said, so, usually it's something like that, like a professor or something like that.
He's got an
Or a
associate's
doctor.
degree.
I'm like, what do you got? Oh, I said, yeah, great. So English lit, yeah. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
Oh, great, you can speak Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he could be a teacher, but not these days.
No.
after he should have been a professor on the island with the girls by now.
Jeez. Let me see what happens here now. I'm going to do this. Too much light behind, huh? Just to get you in there. It's okay. I'll just put her in the Zoom frame, but it's really bright over there.
Yeah, like her face is like glowing like she's
She's glowing.
Aww. Don't say that.
I don't mean like an illegal alien, I mean like outer space alien. There's a
Not what
difference.
I was talking about. Yes.
Anyway, guys. Yes.
Oh.
I just, what time is it?
Time for commercials?
Yeah, like Sean said, time for a commercial.
Now, and thus it was.
It was or tis what it was. And now a word from our
The
sponsor.
website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces and first responders to businesses that appreciate their valor. For more information, go to powarriors.com or call 336-501-0017. PO Warriors, protecting our warriors that protect us.
Hammock Haven. Spice up your next event with the Hammock Haven experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
You could have kind of faded in, couldn't you?
Could have faded.
Bam.
Hit the wrong button.
That's
That
all right.
sideways or is
You're
that you?
You're having a good day. One little mistake we won't kill you for.
Okay. Forget the other 3 mistakes I made.
Yeah. We've already done that. See, we're forgiving people. So this is what we try to teach around here is forgiveness. You know, because you know what, if you don't forgive somebody and you got all these, all this venom and all this stuff built up against them, you're hurting yourself. You know, and that's the thing about, I mean, it's like taking the poison and expecting the other person to die. It just doesn't happen. You know, that person somewhere that person is somewhere celebrating their graduation from AA, and you're somewhere
Drinking away
drinking
and
and killing
catching your
yourself.
next DUI and your jail sentence.
I hate him.
This,
Speaking of people drink stuff, I've been seeing online and on the news, people are drinking the hand sanitizer because
Yeah.
it's made with alcohol. Guess what? That kills you.
Yeah. You don't
First, it
believe
makes you
that.
feel blind, so you can't find your phone to dial 911, then you're dead.
Yeah.
They're talking about the rate of the drinking and alcoholism and addiction going up. And I'm thinking ulcers and health and everything else. I went to get Tums today, and Tums are up to darn near almost $8 a bottle.
Yeah. And acid.
You know, you could go to the 99-cent store, buy a big old thing of baking.
They don't work like that, no.
Yeah, it does. It neutralizes the acid within a millisecond.
Yeah.
Millisecond.
I think you got a bunch
He
of...
knows his antacids.
You think I don't?
Oh, yeah. No, she knows her antacids.
You think
too.
I don't? No.
You guys
I
have a
need-
legitimate battle going here.
I had the extra strength because that's what it takes once you're
You'll see what I'm
going.
talking about when I show y'all this picture. I'll probably find it right
When are
now and show it to
when are you
you.
going to show the picture?
Huh?
Thursday or something like that? Or
No, I'm gonna find it here in a minute. No, I'll save it for Thursday. I'll download it and put some captions and stuff on it. Before and after. That's what we'll do.
I'll be like, that stuff was photoshopped.
Yeah, you guys were on the verge though, so I can tell you, we wasn't looking so good. I was worried about both of you. I think I was a little sick too, but I wasn't
Well,
as sick.
Gee, I don't know if you noticed, every time I walk out to check the mail, where that one spot where I collapsed, where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dang, you're a heavy sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And I collapsed in the driveway. I stop every time I go to check the mail at that one spot. I look
It's
down.
like a memorial spot. You should put like a cross or something there.
Kind of, sort of. Stop the fall on next time.
And we had just gotten new furniture and thankfully putting the old couch out there so you had somewhere to fall back and sit on because you were trying to load the trailer and the dog was running out and we had, for wherever my story, wherever that chair came from. The same one you're sitting in right now is the one that scooted your butt up the driveway. So thank you
Yep.
for where you came at that from. Because yes, you were you were a sack of dead
How
weight.
about this Goodwill, $5.
Good old Will. Reminds me of a friend I need to call. Thanks for that. That reminds me of somebody I haven't talked to in a while since the corona. Well, a lot of people that I haven't talked to a lot. Certainly haven't seen them since corona because they're either themselves or somebody that their significant other has some really compromising thing,
Condition, yeah.
condition, and they haven't left the house. I mean, and that's love too, right? Because a lot of people are like, man, no, I'm going to do my thing. So I miss you guys, and I'll reach out and give you a call. It's a couple of them that I just thought about. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we got corona affecting our kids now, and so I'm just finding it's interesting that like they said in the last month there's been 107,000 kids testing positive just within the last month, just before it's time to go to school. It's kind of interesting how this thing is all playing out, and I just want to again encourage you guys to wear your mask responsibly. When I say that, I mean also, and they showed Joe Biden doing too, and I just don't quite get it. You're outside riding down the street with your mask on a bicycle. I mean, I don't quite get it.
Get some fresh air, please.
Yeah,
you obviously need it.
You're gonna kill yourself.
Sorry,
you're
no
going all that
offenses.
carbon monoxide. You're riding. Next thing you know, you're down. Or riding in your car by yourself. I mean, these things just look stupid. You go into a crowd, put it on, man. And just in case it might save one person. You never know. And that's what we feel about here, right? We know after doing this all this time, we know we can't save everybody. We just can't. But if we can get one person.
What did I say earlier? Okay, so this is like, we don't have control over what happens. So college football is not being played because they're students and they can't be exposed to both, but they're working on sending our younger ones back.
All
So
confusing. This is the point.
none of it actually at that point makes any sense, but what it comes down to is when you can't even protect the ones to their own environment, think about what they're exposed to between mental health and addiction that then are trying to cope with this.
Yeah.
And wonder where everything's at right now, and
Yeah.
hurt. It's crap.
Yeah, and then you got people that we said doing the food drive, and you see you can't really tell who's hungry, because some of the people that come and get the food, the least ones you expect to get it, and again they're the most grateful, and so this thing has affected everybody. So now you got they're trying to send you back to work, the kids are home, and then there's no work to go back to, and then you're not getting your unemployment, and I mean this thing is just, if there's ever been a time that is about bringing a bunch of thinkers together, this is it, because it's so chaotic. You got to put some kind of order, and that's what that God in good orderly direction. You got to put some kind of order to all of this madness that is surrounding us, and turn it into your life that you're living, turning your life into a better place, such that your people around you get the opportunity to have a better life as well. And that's worth everything that you can do.
I can't even think right now, as you were talking about, now that stigma or who you would think needs whatnot. Everyone seems like they're filtering through in different, but a lot of either single parents or they're either work the entertainment industry or restaurant because they need that tip money, that money. They can't do that right now. They can't pay their bills. Now their kids are going to be home from school. Those kids supposed to eat all day. And, I know I'm just repetitive of what we've been talking about for this long, but these kids are only getting older and hungrier and have more needs, and this time is just passing, and getting just they're stuck, and it's getting like, I feel scarier. That anxiety's like building up with, they're stuck.
Yeah. And you know, you got you got this whole prospect of certain areas that are doing only virtual studies, and you know, unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of kids that, unless the school has provided or whatever, they don't have laptops and desktops and or even Wi-Fi to run them on. You know what I mean? And so this is a whole big deal that we need some thinkers. We need some people to get together. We've started it with the food. We're working on a healthy community. We want to teach some people some entrepreneurial skills. I got some good business leaders in the community that are stepping up and willing to teach some business skills. We got a couple of businesses that we have launched that we're going to use as the incubators for that. Again, we're going to make sure some people are eating. We're going to make sure that some people have the necessary resources when they're trying to get into recovery. They get, you know, that they can get the things that they need. Some people need to get into a rehab. Some people need to get into a sober living facility. Some people need to get some of their stuff back together, like getting Social Security cards and all those things that make you normal.
And I think
you know?
reaching out is, we're looking at a healthy community. I mean, we need our volunteers and our recovery room people as well, because everything you were just talking about requires time, because lots of people, they need, you know, rides to places, or they're trying to do things, maybe need help filling out forms. And I mean, these are just, we're really going to work on launching these programs, because right now they're so needed and appreciated. I mean, the attitude of gratitude that has been shown it makes it all work. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, you know, and again, we're talking about doing it from a compassionate standpoint, because we saw a need, and the church had the ability to bless us to be able to fulfill this need. And man, I mean, again, you know, you walk away wishing you had, 100 more boxes or whatever.
And
you know?
and I was actually going to thank you, Sean. He's provided the transportation every week that we're transporting it here to the area. I was going to put a post up to thank him, and it takes everyone. And
Yeah,
and
it's a community. They say it takes a whole village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to support a village. You know, we talk about that rock soup, okay? This is how rock soup is made. You got one guy that's got a pot and a rock and some water, and he's boiling that pot and that rock, and you're seeing the steam coming out of it. And one of the neighbors comes up and looks in the pot and says, "Oh man, that pot could use a little bit of celery in there. Man. That pot sure could use an onion. You know, I got a little bit of beef over here. I think I like to throw in that soup there to make it look real good." And so by the time you look at it and everybody's contributed, you got yourself a nice stew that everybody's able to enjoy.
Everybody slept good that night.
And everybody slept good like Shoring that night.
That,
you know what I mean?
Fulfillment.
So yeah, guys, let's make some rock soup together.
And one thing that we actually haven't really even talked about, or even like some people haven't thought about, but everything that's going on, a lot of people, they're not able to feed their animals, so they're turning them into the shelters.
Ooh.
If you guys had an animal and you got some spare dog food, or it sounds funny, you got some old towels you don't use, go drop them off at the Humane Society. Like here in town, we got Humane Society, we got Bishop Animal Shelter. That's a no-kill shelter. They need help there too. And if you guys could adopt a dog or a cat, whatever else, it's gonna make you feel a lot better. I know when I was really, really sick, my dog knew I was really, really sick, and she would, like, I couldn't go to the bathroom. She'd pop her head in when I was in the shower, just making sure that Dad was okay. And I highly recommend you guys, if you can afford one, go up and get. A lot of times, there's actually 4 at Bishop right now that are for free. They waived all the fees. And the animal's already fixed, microchipped, has all their shots. We're all in recovery, the animals too, animals, kids.
Thank you, Sean. I can't thank you enough for bringing that up, and needs to be a surely point. And especially, you know, if you can't adopt one, but you can either, you know, some bedding or for,
Listen,
that makes
it's about
it-
sharing wealth.
that makes them a little home there too. If you can't give them a home, you can kind of help give them,
I
one
mean,
elsewhere.
they always accept bags of dog food, so you happen to have an extra 8 or 10 bucks laying
Everybody's
around, pick up a bag of, whatever, and go drop it off there,
Thank you, Sean.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody's affected. I mean, if you know some senior citizens that are sick and shut in, go by and check them out, see if they need anything. If you haven't heard from one in a while, go by and check them out. I mean, people get these falls and end up dying in the house because they fell and they couldn't get up and nobody came to check. And so let's make sure that we're checking on our people that we love, and if there's somebody, since we said that, if there's somebody that comes to your brain right away, call them. Don't just
tell
think
them you love
about it.
them. Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah, don't just think about it. Just go ahead and do it, and you'll be surprised, what the outcome could conceivably be. It's usually good, is all that I can tell you, and so, I mean, that's what we want, right? We want good. I'm not trying to be no kind of, I don't know, too sweet and sappy and sugary, but we need some more love. We need some more sweetness.
But
We need some more kindness.
When you call your auntie, and they're, Terry, and you hear that in their voice, and you just know that, I was sitting just right here, and you could hear that, like, you just made
You
it
do
not her week.
impersonation, it sounds just like that.
Terry, she just made you just made her, like, yes,
Yeah.
do it, because, you don't know whether you or they have tomorrow. So-
And then my oldest son now is making the trip a couple of hours to see her, and that's a beautiful thing too.
I'm here.
She's the oldest aunt that we have. His grand aunt. She's like 90, on 90, and so she's got all the stories and all the, the stuff that lets you know where you come from.
He's digging into it.
Yeah, he's
It's
digging
very
into it.
cool.
It's very cool.
One of our elder neighbors here was quarantined in his house because of the whole virus thing. But here you have this elderly individual who now can't even go out to go get their food every Tuesday, because he goes over there and brings them a box of the food that we get from the food drive. And I know that makes a huge difference in that man's life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
every little thing helps, guys, and that's what the people who come and get the food, they say, man, every little bit helps, and God knows that's just the case. And so, find yourself something good to go and do for somebody. It's not hard, and you'll be so happy you did, and then you'll find that whatever lack you have is fulfilled, because when you give, you get. You gotta give to get, We can't hold on for dear life, and that's why I know the world is gonna be good. 'Cause you got some guys like this guy Bezos. He made an additional $39 billion during the coronavirus. He's got to share some of that wealth. He's got to share some of that wealth, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, there's going to be some things, in the next coming years, when we get some different mindsets in Congress and all these different places. I mean, it's going to come a time when people are taken care of. Not that everybody's given everything, but you do have what you need so that you can go and do the things that you need to do. It's kind of hard to go and get a job when you ain't got bus money. No. And it's just really as simple as that. So, again, we love you guys and encourage you. We want you to become hope dealers. Used to be dope dealers, now we're hope dealers, okay? I used to be a hopeless dope fiend, now I'm a dopeless hope fiend. I got hope for all of you guys every day that I wake up. My prayer is that, man, if that person is still out there active, I hope that whatever that little voice in their head today says, no, today is the day. No, today is the day.
Maybe you got parents or kids or just maybe yourself you want to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open. Close them and
Closing
rest.
shots, closing marks, Sean.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a meteor shower tonight, so if you look up, you're not having a flashback or anything else like that. It's supposed to be like the best meteor shower in 20 years.
All right, I just hope one doesn't hit the earth, that's all.
And all you know
Yeah.
is that Sean will be laying somewhere in the yard with
Peace,
his
guys.
headlamp
Peace
on.
out, Pete. Hey, we love you guys.
Yeah, peace out.
You sailed away and left me
All right,
with
another one down.
nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not.